All right, so I am Divine Wizz. I'm an artist, a creator, a mother, a lover, a cancer, a chef, a painter, lyricist. In 2014, I was hit off my bike in East Atlanta, and I broke my patella. I broke my knee bone. And my wife bought me a little canvas and some paint because I couldn't do anything. I was going crazy, like, just stationary, immobilized. So I actually drew a picture of myself from this angle because I was like, that's all I would see all day is just was this knee. But from that position, supine position, I'm like, and then from there, I was like, oh, I can. This is fun. You know what I mean? Like I'm actually creating. And then there's a piece out in my dining room that I did shortly after, and it's called Vicodin because, like, I can't take medicine, but I needed to take medicine because the pain was that, it was horrid. So I did this piece called Vicodin, and it pretty much explained that experience. And then from there, I was like, oh, abstract is dope. Like I can express like I can lyrically on canvas, and then it's left up to interpretation. So that's pretty much where I got started. Some of my dopest pieces were done in oil because when I first started, I started in acrylic because it's just the easiest, cheapest. And then I was like, oh, but I want oil. And then I like the smell of the oil. The biggest thing for me is though, I didn't have a studio at that time, so I'm just painting in a spare bedroom and it got messy. I didn't understand or overstand how to clean the brushes. So I was buying brushes over and over with the oil. That was the only inhibition with oil. Like, damn, like constantly having to figure out. And then people are like, oh, get some type of oil, linseed oil, or I don't know, like paint remover, but it just wasn't working for me. It was messy. But I love the application of oil. Again, I love how it smells against the canvas. I love how it feels when putting it on a canvas. I love the drying process and I love the final, like that pop. I don't know what's going to come out, especially when I'm doing more of the abstract pieces. Some of the more figurative abstract, that process is kind of more research and what's happening in the world. Like I did this hip hop piece series, and that was just from inspiration of like some of my favorite songs. You know what I'm saying? And I put that on canvas. Like I got this one piece that it's called "She Keeps On Passing Me By," and it's a sister. I just kind of drew her upside down in a very abstract way. But I love that track. I love that video. So I wanted to give my own rendition. You know what I mean? And kind of relive. And it goes back to music again. Like music is everything. It's my love language. It's like oxygen. You know what I'm saying? So I think even when I'm doing some of the abstract, it's more like it's just it's just like musical notes. You know what I mean? Like what I'm hearing, putting my thoughts to melody on canvas. The last piece that I did, it's been a few months since I painted, was the series that I did for my aunt, which is a strange produce, but it's abstract, right? And it just allowed me to really just kind of full expression without falling or following any lines. So life really is the biggest inspiration, and the business is so important. But when you're younger and or just getting into it, you're just like, I'm an artist, and you just splattering, and you're not listening to the jewels that's being given, and I'm just spitting. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that success. But now I'm like, oh, I could have done it differently, or planned this differently, and made more profits because that is also important for me. But never too late, right? So working on that part now. Having a core set of investors and or art lovers and or that supports you, you can kind of start gauging what people are going to spend based on that. Like starting off 36 by 24, maybe 500, and now you can charge 2500 because you're creating that following. So I think it's just that putting worth on it, right? Like getting back to not even just the social media aspect, but just really putting yourself out there. The reality is the more people want it, the more people are going to pay for it. The demand. And in terms of like art collectors, like locally, like I work, you got 600, you can have it. I don't trip on that. Right. But if it's like more major conglomerates or, hotel chains and things like that, it's business for real now. Now we're going to talk about numbers and get into the business side of it. I think that if I can express myself in a way that inspires someone else to be able to express themselves, that's the biggest thing for me. Like human expression or self-expression is everything. It's all we have, and that separates us from the next person. So it's just so important to be able to utilize our voice or our art and our expression to inspire others. Actually, I wanted to be a hip hop doctor. Like I wanted to be a cardiologist. Up until like maybe 18, I had my daughter young, so kind of sidestepped my plans a little bit in terms of school. But yeah, I was always an MC. I would always like freestyle for my grandparents at the age of 7. Lottie Dottie's coming out. I think I'm like 10, 9 at that age, spitting that bag and, just spitting over it with my own, but always also wanted to be a doctor too. So it's just kind of the duality of it.
Like the days of December, my hands fold as I pray and I center. The astral plane so beautiful as splendor. I love to travel there because the truth unfolds and unravel there. The beauty sunshine ain't no battles there. Your magic controls the atmosphere, mysterious. Po-po walk the streets mysterious. Black beans walk the streets curious. Democracy is so precarious.
The last album that I just did, Balance, literally it's like a musical altar for family that I transitioned. A track about my mom, track about my aunt. It's the way I process things that happen in my life. And then it's just also, again, very cathartic experience reminding me to stay balanced because so much has been going on for all of us. So it's like a lyrical affirmation. So it's just, I think I wrote the album in like 6 months. It just was pouring out of me. Doubt creeps in sometimes. Comparison to others creep in, or social media gives this thing where it's like, if you don't have 1,000 likes, it's not good. And I've dealt with that at times as an artist. Like, you'll put something up and no one sees it, but if you see it, I have to remind myself that. And so that doubt creeps in sometimes. It has crept in. Other people, I want them to, from the music, I want them to, again, really just that lyricism, that quality of lyricism that we grew up on, that I think is missing a tad bit. You know what I'm saying? In the industry, I won't say every MC that's out right now sucks, but I think for the most part they do. A lot of them, and how we express ourselves, I think we could do it differently. So I want people to be inspired to remember that we can actually tell stories with our music. We can inspire nations with our music. We can uplift your spirits with our music. You know what I'm saying? And feed on your memories or whatever, all the good stuff. And you know what I'm saying? And highlight your chakras and open it. You can do all these things with music. So that's what I want to get from the music side of it. Like, remember, it's a healing tool. You know what I'm saying? It can be fun too. You know what I mean? But I think we need to get back to using it as a form of communication and conversation. In terms of art, I think it still goes back to inspiration, like, or pulling something out of you maybe that you didn't see, and especially because it's abstract, like telling a story or maybe inspiring you to do something, or just feeling good. I want you to look at it and feel good. I think sometimes I get twisted because of my sexuality and we're in Pan African community and things like that. I kind of hide it, and I think that stops me from projecting my truth sometimes because it's a part of me. And if you don't know me, you don't know that. So, and I don't walk around telling people because it's not my business, whether it's my husband or a wife, it doesn't matter, right? But I think sometimes I allow that to impede on my creativity. Yeah, but that's my own stuff I gotta work through. Like I don't even talk about it in my art. Like, I wrote this one song and it's about a woman, but I'm pro black. How are you writing? You're supposed to inspire man, woman, child. So it kind of goes against some things that I even believe in from the core, but this is still my life and I'm cool with my life. But there's this thing, this inner thing that happens. And, you know, I want to do a video. I'm like, I could put a woman in a video. I'm like, nah, I can't put, I'm like, what am I doing? Because I think I'm caring about what people think. And I didn't realize I did that. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was very free. Like, I'm gonna do me, but I care what people think, when it comes to that. Because if there's a judgment on the table, there's a judgment on the table. You know? They ain't gonna judge you anyway. The mohawk, whatever it is, people gonna find something, and we all do. And I don't mind judgment, but don't be judgmental. And I think there's two different things, right? We all have a judgment, but don't scar me because of it. And I won't. And I try not to do the same. Divine Wizz. I'm an artist. I'm a creator. I'm a lover. And this is my voice, and this is my life.